All right, everybody, it's Dave from the Working Fans Podcast. We are here at Outcast Wrestling Revolution, Flowers Given, and I'm with the Black Sheep, Robbie Rebel, and it is Black Rebel Society.
How you doing, man? Thank you for having us.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you guys being on here. You look a little
beat up, not gonna lie.
That post a little hard.
Yeah.
It knocked my teeth out.
Expecting that.
How long have you been doing this?
You could start.
Ironically, so I've known this dude forever. Like, came up in the business. My training started with him. This is the first time we've tagged together. And, like, I couldn't be happier. I've been waiting for this day. 14 years?
At least, yeah.
14 years.
I mean, granted, I could have avoided that ring post, but I'll take it.
Me personally, I've been wrestling since I was 16 years old. I got trained in a bunch of different places. The most notable place that I got trained at was, at the time, it was called WWA 4 with Mr. Hughes. So if people like heard the names Kiara Hogan, Jonathan Gresham, Odinson from NWA, they were all in the same class as me. So I learned a lot from Mr. Hughes. Mr. Hughes is one of the best people I've ever learned how to wrestle from.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Would not have known that necessarily from watching him back in the day. He looked like
the man is so smart. When you think that you know a lot of things, he'll break it down and say, you did this wrong, you did that wrong. And I thought I knew how to wrestle because I got trained for a while.
Right.
And when he brought me up to that school, like, it was a totally different ballgame.
That's
totally different.
Yeah. What were you two like what were your fandoms like before you even got in training? Who got you into pro wrestling? What were wrestlers you liked?
Okay, so my story is a little it's depressing to begin with. Okay. So when I was 2 years old, my father passed away, and I don't know how you guys censor things, so I'm gonna say he unalived himself.
Okay.
And when I was watching TV at like 5 or 6 years old, the first person that really got my interest was The Undertaker. The second I heard the Death March on that is when I literally could feel something that wasn't completely numb when I was 5 years old, because I don't remember a lot of what was happening. I was going through a lot of trauma. So when I first saw The Undertaker, I was like, this is someone who understands me. And I didn't know at the time, but this is someone who understands me. This is how I feel all the time. I wasn't a kid that was afraid of him. I embraced the whole dark side thing. So that's what really got me into it. But then I ended up being like a Bret and Shawn fan. Yeah. I still love The Undertaker, obviously. Yeah. But
that's what we were talking about that before the show started with the people. And like for me personally, I got out of wrestling for a little bit. Bret and Shawn were those guys that got me back in. Just that style. Yeah.
Yes, there is, both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. You can be a Bret and Shawn guy.
You know what? You want to use the wrestling, watch Bret Hart. You want some flair, that's when you watch Shawn. And if you take the combination of both where it's not obvious, you could really pull off some great stuff.
I love it. So what about for you, fandom?
So I'm old school.
Yeah.
So I got to give you a little tidbit here. I'm 52 years old.
Okay, we're good.
Wrestling was
49. We're going to be close.
Was my midlife crisis because I didn't step in a ring till I was 40.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I've been a touring musician my whole life. So I started with a band back in 1994. When were you born?
1990.
So yeah, right after he was born, I was already on tour.
Oh wow!
So I have to laugh about that. But like my mom, my grandfather, like I have a tattoo here. It's got my grandparents on it, my uncles on it. They raised me on wrestling. But you're talking NWA, Florida Championship Wrestling, the Four Horsemen,
Memphis,
all of it.
Yeah.
Like Jerry Lawler, like. My mom's favorite was Bruno Sammartino.
Okay.
I grew up in that era, watching Bob Backlund take the belt, watching the Sheik take the belt, watching Hogan take the belt. And then for a long time, I dropped out of it because I concentrated on my music. And then, like, no joke, DX brought me back in because I'm like, that's me. Like, I've always been that guy, which is how I got the moniker, the Black Sheep. Like, it's tattooed on my shoulder.
Right,
like, that's the thing. It's not really a gimmick. It's more of a lifestyle. Because I've been that dude. I'm a reform school baby. Like I'm the middle child, so mom's got the gray hair since I was like 15.
Typical wrestlers. We've all had royally bad problems.
But like DX is what brought me back into it. Because and again, of course, Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
But just the stuff they were doing, the comedic aspect of it, and the wrestling and the just don't care attitude.
Edginess.
I don't know if you noticed the back patch on my jacket says Dilligav. I'm not going to say what
Oh,
it means,
yeah,
but
yeah,
those
yeah.
that know.
Yeah.
And I'm from that generation, find out. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So we'll leave it at that. I'm going to censor that.
I love it.
But,
Now, go ahead.
Yeah, that's where it all started. But music is what brought me into the ring, though.
Mhm.
Because some of the indie guys were using my music as their entrance themes. And then one day I'm literally sitting at a show in Long Island in the crowd, and I get slapped across the face so hard I couldn't taste anything for the rest of the show. And I was just like never expected, but I was mouthing off to them. And then at that point they were like, "You're a big dude. Why don't you get in the ring and train with us?" And I was like, childhood dream, done, sold. What do I need to do?
All right.
And that was how I actually got my start.
Now, you started off at 40. So this is a question for both of you, but I'm curious. Any big injuries?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, bicep repair because the tendon came off. Rotator cuff's been shaved in 2012. 2 weeks before lockdowns, 2 pins in this shoulder because a torn labrum and a bicep, and then my right ankle's all steel because I broke it doing a baseball slide.
That was my
Caught the ring apron, clean break. Yet I still tried to get up and finish the freaking match.
I told you to stay down.
At 378 pounds, too. So when I started wrestling, I was 460. And then over the years, I've trimmed down. And then I had gastric sleeve surgery to lose that last 100 pounds. And then I bulked back up. So I'm 248 right now. But whole different lifestyle. Wrestling legit saved me when it came to that.
When I was younger, I had a match out in New Jersey. I don't remember the guy's name. I don't think he wrestles anymore. But I was very what we call green.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yo, what type of moves do you do?" And he's like, "Well, my big move is a drop kick in the corner as long as you sit like Bronco Buster style." So I was just like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'm sitting in the corner." The guy comes charging at me, right? And when he's charging, I'm like, he's not slowing down. So he comes in and he gives me a drop kick and poof, knocks my teeth out.
Oh man.
So missing teeth. I had a couple concussions, nothing major or anything like that. I'm not as broken as this man, but and I'm trying to keep it that way too.
I hit the gym, like no joke. My part-time job is in a gym just so I have a free membership to stay in one piece.
I like it. What have been some of your favorite moments in pro wrestling so far, I guess?
I'm going to go with the biggest things that I love is the stories that you have, traveling, the things that happen throughout the night. I mean, I have it's a long story, but I've had a moment where me and a couple other guys went to an adult entertainment club. And the whole night was it was chaotic. I mean, chaotic. I'm not going.
Involve cheeseburgers because I think I've been to the same club with the same people at a different time.
Vinny the Guido.
Of course. There you go.
But it's always the travel stories for me.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I got to wrestle in front of like 3,000 people in Las Vegas once, and that was amazing and fantastic. And you live up to all the hype with it, and the adrenaline rush is crazy. But it's always the people that you meet, the backgrounds that you see, and it. Even though there's a lot of backstabbing, a lot of drama, there's a brotherhood within this too, and the brotherhood is what really keeps me and keep going. And I'm pretty sure that's what keeps him going too.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the stories that you have with everything. A show lasts maybe 2 hours, but you still have a 4-hour drive.
Right.
You're in the car and all that stuff. It's the travel
Yeah.
stories is the
Like tonight,
biggest thing.
4 hours back to Long Island, and then Monday I've got 12 hours back to Myrtle Beach.
Wow.
Yeah, he's gonna be in the car for a long time.
And then I'm flying back up in 2 weeks for another show. So I got to give a shout out though, like Cade Lockbrock.
Yeah.
I was the best man at his wedding. He was in my wedding.
He'll be in my wedding.
Yeah.
My wife is going to be in his wedding. Like I said, the brotherhood. So I met my wife because of wrestling. So she started out as a photographer, and then she wanted to get in the ring and train. And like running joke is we beat the crap out of each other for a couple of months and got married. But legit, I met my wife through pro wrestling.
They still beat the crap out of each other.
Well, that's the thing. So now I know my place in things.
Right.
I went from trainer to tackle dummy, But yeah, like my best man, Bad Boy Rocky Shore, like he's worked all over the place. He's worked for dark matches for WWE, like, but he was my trainer originally, which is how I met him. And then he was the best man at my wedding. And you're talking all these years later, because I started 2012, I think it was.
At least, yeah, because
I
was
got married. It's gonna be 3 years in September. He was my best man because we've kept that brotherhood. I was texting him on the way here.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, the brotherhood that we've created in this business, like, you can't replace that. Whether it's the heels, the faces, the bad guys, whatever. Like, all these years, I've made such an incredible dysfunctional family, but it's still family.
And you got to understand too that when you're in the ring with somebody, you know your life is on the line.
Right.
Something wrong could happen. A board has popped up and you land on it the wrong way. That's it. Game over. So there's a lot of trust that is involved with that.
Yeah, like these injuries I've had, I can't hold that against somebody because it's a risk we take getting in there. But
we just came in, started talking, taking over the show.
That's all right. That's all right.
It just comes with the territory. The family, the brotherhood is insane.
You need us to just tell us to shut up.
That's fine. Shut me up.
Well, one thing I was going to ask you guys, one thing we always like to ask, and you guys have had so many, times on the road and everything together. What is some of the best advice you've received in pro wrestling that maybe is related to life too?
Pre-prep your meals.
Oh God.
Pre-prep your meals.
7-Eleven has great protein bars and beef jerky.
Yeah.
Same with sheets.
What's the go-to protein bar?
Barbell. Absolutely.
Yeah, he
Love
likes
those.
barbell.
Love the barbells.
I'm good. I'm good with Quest.
The Fatty
I like
Sticks
Quest.
beef jerky is my go-to. I got 2 in the back.
And also be prepared for everything to take longer than you expect, because nothing will go right.
That makes sense.
Nothing will go right.
Yeah. Adapt and move through it. Because if you let it get under your skin, you got to have a very tough skin for this business. Take your critiques. Don't take them personal. Learn from them. Best advice I was ever given, though, when you're in the locker room, eyes and ears open, mouth shut.
That's what we
Thank
heard.
everybody for opening that door for you. Do what you got to do, but mouth shut, absorb everything you possibly can.
Makes sense. That's what we heard as well. Now, so music, right? Would you say there's a similarity then between music and wrestling?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
all the entertainment
all
business
the
is the same.
chaos in the locker room
Yeah.
is exactly how it is backstage. Green room, locker room, same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Because when you say this stuff, sometimes you realize
And
to
the travel.
keep your, eyes open, your mouth shut. It just sounds like great life advice. Like whatever job, you should probably do that.
Yep.
Humble yourself,
And I
be a
tell everybody
sponge.
too, sometimes you just have to adapt and move forward no matter what situation you're stuck in. Because like I've been lucky, again, shamelessly self-promote myself, but I've done reality TV, I've done movies, I've done acting, I've done music, I've done wrestling. So I tell everybody, just learn as much as you can from whoever opened that door for you, because the veterans will be your best learning tool. Like, I don't care who they are, talk to them. If you get a chance, pick their brain if they're willing to do it.
I feel there's like a lot of lack of respect for veterans recently too, because the whole landscape has changed.
Right.
So when it comes to really picking their brains, they've been there, they've done that. Moves are the cherry on top. You know what I mean? You want to do these crazy moves, that's great. But when you want to talk about real psychology, they've been through it. Really pick their brain about the psychology. If you want to do, like a double backflip, corkscrew, whatever,
Make sure it makes sense.
Make it make sense. That's a real big thing with that. Especially talking to veterans. Sometimes they'll say it's too much, and then the crowd can't absorb that.
Right.
Yeah, always play to the crowd, because those are the guys that make it possible for us to do what we do. Like they paid good money to come see you. You make sure you give
Take
them
the
what
time
they
out of
paid.
their
You give them
day.
their money's worth, and always take care of your crowd. And that goes either way. Good guy, bad guy. You still make sure you're here to entertain them, so they forget about life's problems. This is their safe haven to have fun and let go of things. Give them what they paid for, no matter what.
I will say, as a fan too, like watching wrestling throughout the years, I used to love those fast-paced shows and everything. But those aren't the ones you always stick with and you remember. You remember the angle. You remember the interview, the storyline. Like that's what really hooks you and everything.
Less
like
is
that.
more.
In music, they told me when you're on stage, you don't want to go out there and just ego. I'm a rock star. They said you want to create a moment for your crowd so they go home and they go, wow, that dude blew me away. No different in there. You want to create that moment so they have that memory and be like, yo, remember that time we were at this match and this happened? That was crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. One other thing I'll ask you guys before we get to like promoting goals at this point in the game. What are some of your goals?
Well, for me, it's to get wherever I can. You know, I'm not setting a bar of expectation just because you don't want to, you know, fail for yourself and then be too hard. Just do whatever I can, see as many people as I can. I love the travel. Some people are not made for the travel. I love to travel. It's it can be a rough road, but I would like to just go as many places as I can, have many experiences as I can. And you know, when I'm old and I talk to my grandkids, hopefully, if I don't kill myself doing this, I don't censor that one. So you know, if I want to have that experience and share it to my children, grandchildren.
That's good. Any goals for you at this point?
So at this point, like no joke, I said I'm 52 years old,
Yeah.
and I've been a touring musician going on 30 years. So more than half my life has been spent on the road.
Right.
I'm on my second marriage, so like it's rough and it's a very lonely road. But with wrestling, it's all family camaraderie. Music, that's the difference between music and wrestling. Music touring very lonely, even when you're with a band. Still, it's lonely. I do 26-hour drives by myself sometimes.
AKA, he just wants to get out of the house.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love being on the road because I've spent so much time on the road. So my goal, I'm doing this one just to fulfill that dream. My grandfather, my uncle, my mom, like my mom's still with me, and I'm so thankful because I've gotten her to come out to experience things with me. Like I said, she met Bruno. Like I have a whole collage of pictures in my phone of my mom with more wrestlers than I've been with.
Yeah.
Like Bob Backlund, joking one day, told me that I was going to be calling him daddy and started kissing my mom's cheek. Like I've got video of her singing karaoke with Jimmy Hart.
You know what?
You were there.
You kind of do look like Ivan a
Yeah,
little bit.
So, I'm doing this just because it's something I've always wanted to do, and like I'm still upright. You know what I mean?
And
music is my forte, but wrestling is again where I found the family.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a goal that I'm trying to reach. I'm just trying to go out, live my life, experience as much as I can. And I've been so blessed to work with so many guys I watched on TV. So like I really, if tomorrow was it, I could say my bucket list is almost done. So like I can't complain. Everything's been good.
I have to just go back to that for a second. With all due respect to, I did say to him beforehand, I said, he's got kind of an Ivan Koloff look about him. So when you said that, I was like,
I tease my mom about it all the time. I'm like, if I got to call him daddy, I'm like, for the right price, I will. Like, I got a house to pay for.
Right.
Before we get to promoting, I do have one question.
Go ahead.
I gotta ask which band were you in, and I want to ask favorites of music. Like, what are some of your
Absolutely.
favorite bands?
Absolutely. So my band was Axis Unknown. It's AXIS. We're on Spotify. I mean, you'll find it there. It's an album we threw out there, but really I never promoted it, so the followers aren't there. But I'm doing a new album now, and I'm going solo. So the actual music now is the Black Sheep. Everything is branded. I've got my own label. I'm DIY from start to finish. So over the years that I've learned, I put it all together. I have a label called GDA Media Group. I do my own photography, my own videos, my own merch, everything from start to finish. You know, and I've done merch for Cade, for a bunch of few people. Like I do the designs and stuff like that. But my biggest influence, no joke, is Stained. I'm a huge Aaron Lewis fan, and it's not even the political stuff. It's the fact that what they write about is all their personal experiences. My music is my therapy.
You could actually hear it in his music.
If you ever
could hear
want
it
to
in
know
Space
what
Jam
kind of person I am, like on the inside, you read my lyrics, because my lyrics are about places I've been, people I've met, things I've been through, my battles with addiction in the past. I'm 17 years clean and sober. It's about suicide prevention. I've lost friends to all of that. I've got my whole family's military, so I've dealt with PTSD through my family. I've lost a lot of stuff. So that's where the music came in. And then, like I said, the music is what led me to the wrestling. And then wrestling led me to doing a lot of reality TV and stuff like that. So I'm Ink Master alumni. I've been on 6 episodes that have 2 tattoos. So I've been very, very lucky, all stemming from music and pro wrestling. So yeah, I can't complain. You know,
Nice.
things
And
have
what
been
are
good.
some of your favorite bands? What are some of your favorite albums?
Definitely huge Black Label Society. Because like I was
Definitely.
getting to earlier, when I proposed to my wife, I did it with the blessing of Father Zach and the band. So the whole band was at Irving Plaza in New York City. We did the meet and greet, and then I got down on one knee and proposed to her, and the whole band came over, hugs, and then they were like, "Hey, let's go out for pizza," and then went to sound check.
Nice.
So yeah, Black Label without a doubt. Stained, any Stained album. Like that's such heartfelt stuff. I
Those
just
first
related
two
to it.
were really raw too.
Yeah, very good.
My absolute favorite song that I related to the most though was "Believe" by Stained, because that was all about life on the road and all the sacrifices you make to be out there, and that's the story of my existence. So I've lost one marriage over it. I've lost friends over it. I miss the birthdays. I miss everything. Like I don't have kids because I didn't want to be like a Facebook dad and miss all of that stuff. But I mean, when that time comes, that's when I got to contemplate: do I stay on the road or do I go home and be the father? So for that reason, I never did, because again, you know, I didn't want to be selfish. But yeah, "Believe" by Stained, absolute favorite song. I relate to that one. Like first time I heard it, I'm driving to Texas to go play South by Southwest from Myrtle Beach. 26-hour drive, and I'm in my van at 3:00 in the morning, almost in tears, singing this song, full volume, windows down, going like, my God, what am I doing?
Those are really the biggest. The moments like that are really what stick with you as a music fan.
Yeah.
When you're like feeling the music without realizing it.
Yep.
It's just
Like
Absolutely.
zoned in on that road, looking at those white lines, and I'm
Yeah.
singing, and it's like, wow, it's 5:00 in the morning, and I still got 6 more hours of driving, and I'm
Yeah.
almost in tears because I'm like, this is my life I'm listening to here. I'm living it.
One of my biggest bands that I'm a huge fan of is Typo Negative. Peter Steele has such beautiful lyrics, and it's a shame that he's not with us. But I mean, I like heavier music like that. Huge Ozzy fan, huge Black Sabbath fan. Before the show, we were just talking about the Zach Sabbath thing.
Yeah.
I'm also a huge thrash metal fan. Like I mean, everyone loves Metallica, but I'm more like Flotsam and Jetsam type guy. Like I like that raw thrash metal, like huge with Gwar. When I first saw Gwar in like 2008, 2010, something around there, and like Dave just blew me away with his antics on stage, and it really influenced me. He really made you escape for a minute, and then just the whole blood thing and everything like that. I'm a huge Gwar fan, always will be, die hard. But Typo and Black Sabbath are my huge number ones.
Are you going to be watching their final concert?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I
Absolutely.
can't wait for that.
I have to watch the replay because I'm playing a music festival
Oh.
that day. But I mean, it's for a good cause, though. It's called Carolina Vet Fest. So I do charity work religiously. Like that's where a lot of my music goes. So this is for military vets. We're actually doing this whole fundraiser for positive. Oh God, what is it now? It's positive something. I can't remember off the top of my head. I have to look it up. But they train service dogs for disabled vets. So we donate our time services. We're doing an all day long military music festival for the military that day. So I missed that concert, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm okay with that. But I will absolutely watch that replay. Like that's my influence right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I guess leading into that, I mean, what do you guys want to promote? You got coming up, or social media, anything? Just
Well, I got a show in Eisenhower Park on Long Island tomorrow.
okay.
There's a couple of different shows that I'm in the midst of talking about. But if you ever want to look me up, you can look me up on Facebook as Robbie Rebel, Man the Top Hat. You'll see me right there. I'll be happy to grab you guys. Keep it.
Hat I've ever known.
I'm on a show called Keep It in the Ring every Thursday night, and I do something called the Rebel Rant, where I just completely blow up on a lot of things that I have gripes with on wrestling. It's where we ponder and pontificate the problematic perplexities plaguing the wrestling business today. It's called alliteration. And
I pick things up, I put them down.
and if you want to check me out on Instagram, you can look me up at The Real Robbie Rebel.
Awesome.
So one other thing too. So the music we came out to today was actually one of my songs.
Oh,
So like I said,
This is going to be the
shameless.
longest part.
No, short, sweet, and simple.
All right.
So you
As
can
long as you need to promote.
you can go to Google, and like no joke, I've spent years doing this. Look up DA' Black Sheep. If I'm not within the first 5, then I'm not doing my job. But you can find me on Google under Dan Acosta also, but it's Acosta because everybody thinks it's Italian. I'm actually Puerto Rican. So it's Dan Acosta or DA' Black Sheep. You'll find me all over the internet.
So we were wrong about the Ivan thing.
yes. Way up.
Absolutely, yes. Not Russian, Puerto Rican. Puerto Rican Irish mix.
I don't know. He might have been Italian for all you know.
It could be anything. I mean, that depends on mom. I'd have to ask her one day. Be like,
Promote yourself,
how
brother.
much of a wrestling network? She smacked the crap out of me. So I have a link tree. I make it short and simple. So it's link tr.ee/DA Black Sheep. Done.
Love it.
And that goes
Check
to all the
everything out.
socials, that goes to the merch sites, the website, the EPK, the Spotify, Apple Music. I'm on every digital platform known to mankind. And I have a new album coming out. Should have had my single out Friday, but unfortunately we had to push it back a little bit. We're still waiting for distribution in place, but I've got a new single coming out called Sinner's Lament. Should be dropping with a lyric video, and then I'm putting out another album. But I'm doing it all under the Black Sheep now, so it's just no more band solo artists. So, and then I've got a show July 5th playing at the Rooster in Gastonia, North Carolina, doing Carolina Vet Fest. And then after that, I'm kind of laying low a little bit because I got to get that single done.